So, guys, Blazionaires and Blazionettes, I just got back from seeing the Jungle Book, and man, it was fantastic. Oh my gosh, I'm keeping my voice down because Lindsay's asleep. We both went to go see it. Um, so yeah, I don't know where to begin, but it's what's amazing about this movie to me. Um, Well, there may be some minor spoilers in this review, so turn off the video if you have not seen it. But let me see, where do I start? It's amazing how it seems like this entire movie was shot, or nearly the entire movie was shot in a green screen. Like, it's like this they put this kid who plays Mowgli, and you have him there, and he's like basically talking to nothing the entire time. Like while it's filming. I mean, and that kid deserves an Oscar. I get it. Like with children, their imaginations are, it's easy for them to communicate with something that's not there. They can embrace their imaginations. Like as much as adults can. So he uses that to his advantage, and he does a fantastic job with it. That kid deserves an Oscar. If he does not get an Oscar, or at least an Oscar nominee, I will start a motherfucking riot. Real shit for realsies. and it was really awesome to see all the all the animals actually talk in this version of the movie of the live action movie, and because in the first live action version we didn't get that. We got a much more adult version of Mowgli, and the animals didn't talk. It's like they took Mowgli out of the jungle, like do a good chunk of the movie, and there's a love interest, and the love interest is seeing someone else, and he hates the jungle, and he's intimidated by Mowgli, and it was just basically Tarzan. The first live action version of the Jungle Book was Tarzan, and this movie to me felt like The Lion King. It had a lot of elements from The Lion King thrown into this movie. Now, I don't recall any of those elements being used in the the original animated movie. It's been like a very, very long time since I've seen the animated movie. I must have been like in still elementary school when I last saw it. It's been so long, and yeah, since I've seen that one. So I may have to sit down and watch it again. But from what I don't remember it being. I don't remember any similarities to the Lion King in that one. But I'm okay with this being more like more towards Lion King than it is Tarzan. You know what I mean? That's just not what the Jungle Book was. Like in the first live action version that they did back in the '90s. I accept it for what it was, but looking back on it, I'm like, it's fucking Tarzan. Like you're just ripping off Tarzan. That's all it was. But I think all the characters, like almost every animal in this movie, I wanted to just take home with me. I wanted to take home the little pups, the little wolves. They were all adorable. They had little kids playing voices to them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me pick one. Can I just pick one, of the litter, please? I need to take them all home with me. and it's another funny thing that almost everybody that has a role to play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in this movie. Like Scarlett Johansson, Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Gary Shandling, R.I.P. Man, who else? And John Favreau, obviously. Well, he directed the movie, but he still had he's a part of that universe as well. So it's like everyone that's had a role to play in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is assembled in this movie, and I find that pretty interesting. I mean, like, since I'm a nerd, like I think a lot of you nerds will find that interesting. Like, wow, like everybody that's a part of that universe is in this movie, and and it does have some musical tones to it. Like when they first started advertising this movie, you weren't sure if they were gonna have any, you know, any reference to the animated movie at all, but it does. Like where it has a couple songs here and there, but it doesn't. It's not like a song every 5 minutes like your common old school Disney movie is. But at some point, like in the middle, toward working its way towards the end of the movie, that's when you start to have those songs there. So that's really cool. That you got at least. I'm guessing, yeah. I think it was about like two songs in this movie, and the two songs that stuck out the most. So there you go. But this movie was, it was a great, it was great for all generations. For people who grew up watching the movie, and for kids who are, kids of this generation, or, you know, getting to have the same experience that I had, and that adults had, and when they were children, and when they did hit those musical, when those songs that we grew up listening to did come on. I mean, everybody in the theater was moving, either moving to it or dancing to it, and some of them were even singing along with it. And then someone that was sitting behind me he had his foot on the chair, like right next to me, and the chair right next to me, it kept moving like this to the beat, like as to the, as it went along with the beat of the song. It was pretty sweet. that you know you that that the experience pulls you in, and you're enjoying it. And the tiger Shere Khan, man, he is one scary motherfucker. I mean, he just shows up out of nowhere, and then he's just like, I want to kill this kid. I smell a man cub, and he wants to kill him. It didn't, like at first I was like, okay, that's very lazy writing for him to just, oh, I just want to kill this kid. But they show a flashback, um, with Mog like Mowgli's father and him when Mowgli's much younger. He's a toddler, and Shere Khan had he had a throwdown with Mowgli's father, and Mowgli's father burned him in the eye, and while he was trying to defend himself and protect Mowgli, but he died protecting him, and Shere Khan killed him, and so that's why I guess he wants to go after him, because I guess he feels like you know they don't belong in the jungle and whatnot and whatever, and but yeah, I mean, he was intimidating. Every time he would come on screen, I'm just like, holy shit. And Bill Murray, he did a fantastic job as Baloo. He brought Garfield to life really well, in my opinion, and he did an even much more fantastic job bringing Baloo alive. He had me cracking up the whole time, and it was his. Every time Baloo was on screen, it just tickled me, just like how I wanted it. Baloo is my favorite character in the Jungle Book, period. So I was really happy to see that he brought that character to life, and I just couldn't get enough of him. I couldn't get enough of that character, and but yeah, I'll say that this movie deserves 5 chair spins out of 5. So, dude, you get an idea. But yeah, it's a great movie, and I saw it in 3D. I mean, I wasn't originally intending to see it in 3D, but it was the earliest showtime available, and I said, you know what, it might be fun, and it's a fantastic experience. I can't think of any other movie that was where a good chunk of it was on green screen the entire time, and not not on a production, stage or anything. I don't think any part of the movie did. I think the whole thing was green screen, and I can't think of another movie that had where the whole movie was green screen. I can't think of it, but maybe Avatar comes close to it, and maybe Mortal Kombat comes close to it as well. But Jungle Book is like full on, full throttle green screen as far as I can think of that I've seen so far, and it's a fantastic movie, and I'm glad that Disney's bringing it back and staying true to what we loved about the animated movies, and I'm looking forward to see what more classic movies that they're gonna bring to the table and bring us a live action take on it on these classic movies that I've grew up watching. So I'm really looking forward to that. I cannot wait. Let's just go crazy with it all over again. Reach out to our childhoods and everything. It's great, and reach out to this generation of kids, and just let it be one big family fun experience. So I highly suggest you take your family to go see it. It'll be great. I think you will love it as much as I did, and that's a lot. Like I don't know. Maybe I don't think you can love it as much as I did, but maybe you can. But this may be a much bigger fan of the story than I was as a child, and it makes me want to watch the animated movie like as soon as I get a chance. So if you enjoyed this review, thumb up the video and make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.